Information found in this podcast may not contain exact accuracy as it is opinion based. Please listen at your own risk.
All right. So tonight's topic
Haha.
red flags. All right. So while we're doing this tonight, guys, when you think of a red flag in a relationship, please drop it in the chat. I'm going to be following our chat on YouTube, in our Riverside and TikTok all at one time. So please put whatever red flag you know about into one of those sections, and I will make sure that I bring it up during the call. All right. So, for starters, what is your opinion of what a red flag is in a relationship, Sheena?
I don't know if you want to ask me that because I ignore all the red flags in my relationships. I think I
You think
run
it's a
to,
carnival?
yeah, I think I run to the red flags. Red flags are something you run towards. Just run towards the red flag, hug them, and welcome them into your life. It's like, no, don't do that. Um,
Oh, that's so funny.
yeah, red flags are very toxic.
So, right, they're warning signs
Yeah,
that it's probably not a good situation. Now, I do want to start with saying that red flags, if addressed and communicated about, can change. Um, and I
that's
didn't
true.
actually know that for a lot of my life. But like in my current relationship, when I saw red flags in the beginning and I called them out, they were adjusted. And so that's how I know that people don't always know that some of their characteristics are red flags. I have some too. I know that I have red flags. Like, for instance, when I met my current significant other, I was technically still married. That's a red flag.
Yeah, well, I'm guilty of that one too.
I think we're all guilty. I think anyone that's ever been divorced is guilty of that.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I wasn't together. I was separated, but still, I wasn't legally married, legally divorced when I
Well, mine too. I mean, I
moved
didn't meet
on.
him during my marriage. I met him after my husband left, and called us done. Um, and so that's why I don't feel bad at all. I mean, up until, but I was also one of those people that literally did everything in my power to save my marriage. So,
Yeah,
when it got to that very end part, it was like, oh, okay, he took all the furniture. That means he's gone. So,
mine just stopped coming home, so I guess it was like it was over.
red flag, red flag. That's a red flag. When he doesn't come home, that's a red flag.
Super red flag.
So let's name out some red flags. Let's see if we get anybody jumping in from it. So red flags can be like jealousy.
Yeah, but like, why would that's that's a good red flag. I mean, but I don't trying to think like why would you be jealous of your significant other?
No,
Like
not
your
jealous of
significant
them, but jealous of people that speak to them.
oh
Like,
that.
yeah. Like,
Oh
no,
well
not
yeah.
jealous of them. But
That
no, I
part from
mean,
that
that
standpoint, yeah.
that does happen too though. I mean, people can be jealous of you, And like for instance, here I'll give you an example. Like you and I have always had like professional type jobs, typically in management or something that makes us make decent money, like middle class living or whatever America calls it. So if we start dating a guy and he doesn't have the same kind of equivalent, it could make him jealous or resentful that we make more money.
Right, because we're
That's a red flag.
comfortably living paycheck to paycheck.
Right. So that could be a red flag. Your
Mm.
turn. Pick a red flag.
Ah, red flag. Lack of communication.
Oh, I still have that red flag. Do other people? I don't feel
Yeah.
like the world knows how to communicate the same way as me.
No. Well, I'm really bad with that because like I will hold it all inside, and instead of having a conversation with you about what I find a problem, I'll have it with myself. Like, I'll have this whole conversation with myself in my head, and then I'll think you knew was in my head with me, so you got to know what I was talking about and why I'm mad with you. So there's no need for me to have a conversation with you because you should have been in my head when I had the conversation. So then I don't communicate it with you, but I'm still mad with you.
Are you one of those people that get mad when somebody cheats on you in a dream?
Yeah, I will wake up and punch you in your face. Like, don't you do that in my dream. The fuck?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not funny, but it's funny all at the same time. I'm not that person at all, by the way. Um, I lack of communicate. So I'm one of those people where if you don't want to communicate with me, I just assume that you're good. And so that's probably also why I end up in situations where people are like, I haven't been happy for a long time. And I'm just like, why? I thought we were good. And they're like, no, I mean, I haven't even spoken to you in 2 months. And I was like, I know, I thought that meant we were good. like, I
No, that means that you're not listening.
And it sucks because when I need to get something off my chest or I need to say something, I just say it. Like I'm just like, listen. And it's never I never do it in the heat of the moment. I never do anger. I don't play those games. I'm not fixing to argue with anyone. I don't argue with my mother. I'm not gonna argue with somebody else. I'm just it's not I don't do that. I don't have time to argue and fight. But I
Girl,
will
no, me
sit
neither.
down
Girl,
and
I'm
be
not,
like,
you know
hey,
what?
I don't like this. This is bothering me. I'm getting to my wits end. I need help.
Girl, I might as well be a whole red flag. That's guess why I wore a red shirt tonight, because I'm probably a whole
Are
red
you
flag
the red
myself.
flag?
I'm probably the red flag, yeah, because I know I would get mad with you about something you did or didn't do, but I won't tell you. I would just be mad with you, and I will hold it in myself, and I would
I
just,
I
like
just
I
want to
said, lack of
say,
communication. I would not talk to you about it, but I will
listen,
argue with you in my head about it,
I need to
and
throw
then
this out there because Sheena is more than telling the truth, y'all. Sheena at one point didn't talk to me for almost 2 months. Okay. The only time she talked to me is when she had to for business stuff. And I had no idea what was going on. And come to find out, I don't know if she had a dream or I don't know what it was, but she thought because somebody told her that a female close to her was being deceitful, that it had to be me. And so she just didn't talk to me until she figured out who it was and then was like, "Oh, it wasn't you. So we good now." And I was like, "I didn't even know we wasn't good. You didn't say nothing, so I assumed our relationship was fine." Cuz that's who I am. If you don't tell me what's wrong, then I don't know what's wrong. I assume that we're good unless you communicate otherwise. And so you right, Sheena, you might be the red flag. Hold on, we got to go down some more of these red flags, man, cuz I'm starting to wonder. Um
okay, let's say what's another red flag? Lack of support.
Oh, that is a big red flag. But I don't
Hmm.
think that's you at all.
No, it's not me because I'm very supportive. Like I would support you. Like I'll have your back. I'm
No,
the
I know. That's part of what makes you one of my really good friends
Yeah, because I'm
is
a ride or
because you're
die. But
there.
once you start with shenanigans, then I'll start with my shenanigans. See, I'm a match energy. That's me. My match is my pettiness. I think
I was
that's my
about to
red
say Sheena
flag.
is petty, y'all.
That's
She is
my
so
biggest
petty.
red. I'm petty. You wanted to drop down to that level. I will be there with you. Really petty, and I like being
I'm
petty.
I'm petty with words, but that's it. Like I
Uh,
won't do nothing petty. I won't risk my freedom to do some dumb stuff. I'm not fixing to fight nobody behind you, but I'll hurt your feelings with my words real quick if I need to.
I will too, and I will look at my phone with you calling and not answer it. But then, like after you done called like 3 times, I will answer it and act like I never seen you calling. Like, oh, okay, you was calling. Well, what do you want? And I will brush past the fact that I didn't answer the phone, no matter how you was like, I just called you. No, you did. So what you doing now? What's for dinner? I would just brush right past
So
it.
Sheena, that day we was in the U-Haul moving all your stuff. You had looked at the phone when I was calling you back to back. and just brush past it.
No, 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 that was actually I wasn't paying
Sheena
no
had me
attention to
lost,
my
y'all.
phone.
Sheena had me in the middle of nowhere, lost like a MFer, helping her, refusing to answer my call.
No, that day I was like not paying attention to my phone. But most of the time, sometimes on if you see, I'm petty because like if I won't answer my phone unless I'm in the mood to actually have a conversation with people.
And see, it's so funny because I'm the opposite. I will always answer my phone like a phone call. But if you text me, you might want to wait 5 to 7 business days for my response because I hate texting. So I literally only do it when I have to.
I'm the complete opposite.
I know
Like
you are. It
if you
drives
want,
me and Sheena crazy because Sheena will text me 3,012 text messages and I will respond okay because I would much prefer her just call me and tell me all that in 3 minutes and let me say everything I want to say back because I don't want to type. And I swipe the text too. So it's not like I just don't like the motion because I text back really fast, but I just hate texting. And I'm going to tell you why. It's actually red flags because through text message, you cannot hear someone's tone. So if someone texts you, sure, that's fine. You don't know if they're going, sure, that's fine, with rolling their eyes with an attitude, or sure, that's fine, because you can't hear their tone. And so I always feel as somebody with like really high anxiety. um I I always feel like the world is mad at me. So no matter what I text you, I can be like, "Hey, are you having a good day?" And you can be like, "Yeah." But I'm going to go, "Oh man, they must be having a horrible day because they responded, 'Yeah,' like with an attitude." And but you won't have an attitude. You'll be like, "Yeah, no, my day is going fine." But that's why I don't like texting because texting's so impersonal to me. I can't hear your tone. So I always feel like whatever you're saying, you're being mean. So if you ever text with me, you'll see that I text very analytically back so that I'm only stating facts so that a tone cannot be misinterpreted. Because I'm never, the only time you hear me be mean to somebody is when they deserve it. And it takes a lot to get to that point. So, but that's why I hate the text.
kudos to
Sheena
you.
hates
Like,
Sheena hates
listen,
to talk on the phone because she don't want to talk
I
to nobody. Sheena don't like people.
no, I don't like talking on the phone because people don't know how to get off the phone. Like when I'm done saying what I gotta say, like hang the fuck up. Like I don't like. How do you like not?
I
How do
told
you
y'all,
hang up
Sheena is the
without being
reason we always
rude?
go explicit. We always got to go explicit because of her mouth. Ain't no
I'm just
teenagers
keeping it
ever gonna see
real.
this podcast.
I'm just sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all, but I have to keep it real. You know, I have to keep it real because, like, listen, when I'm done talking with you, I don't want to have to figure out or come up with a way or to get you off the phone. Like, all right, bye, or all right, I gotta go feed my fish, or I gotta go water the plants or something like. Get off the
I
phone.
got,
I don't want to
I
talk to you
gotta
no
let you
more.
go. I gotta take my fish on a walk.
Yeah, something's crazy because like you rambling. I like to.
But
That's why I just
listen,
text because I can say what I want to say, and you can respond or don't respond. But I didn't say what I had to say. I ain't got to worry about getting you off the phone or hanging up in your face or you telling me I'm rude for rushing you off the phone. Listen, I said what I got to say. I don't want to sit here on the phone with you.
I
Like, you
used
not
to
my
work.
man.
I used to work for a call center. And so I'd be on the phone all day long. And when I get home, I wouldn't want to talk on the phone. And I
Oh
used to
yeah.
think of every excuse in the book. I'd be like, oh man, I got to move this towel over to the other counter. Let me call you back. And
That
then I
part.
just hang up. And people be like, man, what did you say last night when you hung up on me? Man, I said I had to do something. I don't know what I said. Whatever came out of my mouth is what I said, man. And it would be something dumb like, oh, I got to turn my thermostat on really quick. Let me call you back.
Yeah. Let me call you back.
Because I hated to be on the
Yeah.
phone back then. But I'm a
That's
talker.
how it started too, because I used to work in a call center too, and I got irritated being on the phone. Like, so when text messages came out, after the touch screen came out, you know what I'm saying? Not the other text messages with the flip phone when you had to click that one button 6 times to get the letter you want. I'm talking about when the new text messages came out with the regular keyboard and you can swipe and type like regular people. So yeah, I started type texting ever since then, and stop running people off the phone. But if you get on the phone, I will run you off. That's why my phone stay on do not disturb because I ain't got time for answer calls. Either you don't want to text, send me an email. Call at the last resort. The calling is the last. It's better be an emergency. You call me.
Oh, that's so funny. Huh.
Like
Um,
I told you, I'm a whole red flag.
so here, let me.
Let me see. Let me think. Okay, I gave two, so you give one. I got my next one. Whenever
All
I'm
right. So I'm gonna say another red flag would be controlling behavior, like not letting you wear clothes you want to wear,
oh
or hanging out with certain friends.
oh my ex
Um,
then was a whole red flag. He was very controlling.
duh.
Yeah, he was very controlling.
There's a reason he's an ex.
Yeah, hallelujah. I was like, dog, what
So
Kool Aid was I drinking when I decided to do that?
what Kool-Aid were you drinking? So and then another one on type of that on top of that is like gaslighting.
Oh yeah,
Um, gaslighting and love bombing kind of go hand in hand. So those are two really big red flags. And I can actually tell you, like, there's a difference between red flags and deal breakers. And gaslighting for me is a deal breaker.
yeah.
You got one time to gaslight me before you never hear from me again. Um, so what was the other red flag you were gonna say, Sheena?
Um, I was gonna say, does everybody know what gaslighting means? But my other red flag was disrespect,
Yeah,
disrespect,
definitely.
and dishonesty, like lying. Like you got one time to lie to. Like if I catch you in a lie, or you lie to my face, if I don't punch you in your face, then I'm ghosting you. Like I'm not answering my phone call.
So gaslighting, let's touch on that a little bit because you're right. I don't know if people knows what that means. And I know a lot about it because I've dated a narcissist before.
I think
But
everybody has.
gaslighting, I do too. I really do. And it's usually that relationship that was your longest, most trauma filled situation. Um, but gaslighting is like the ability to manipulate someone. So I can give an example. Like for instance, hey, like you see in their phone that they're texting another girl and they say that she's pretty. Hey, why are you texting that girl calling her pretty? We're in a relationship. The response is then, why did you invade my privacy? It's the ability to turn something around on you and manipulate you into thinking that you did something wrong. That's what gaslighting is. And I wait for the day that somebody tries to gaslight me again because, like I said, I don't do a lot. Y'all ignore my dog in the background who's apparently having a nightmare. Um, sorry, one second. Let me
Oh,
just. Sorry, I was trying to yell to her to tell her she was okay and at home. I don't know what's going on with her right now, but she does that sometimes. She just takes a
oh,
nap and has a nightmare. So, but so gaslighting to me is a deal breaker, along with lying, like you said. Um,
yeah.
and
Now that explain gaslighting. I knew what gaslighting was, but that's a big deal breaker. I can see why that's a deal breaker. Cause ain't nobody gonna be have put up with that shit. Because you,
well, and
like you said,
that's
manipulating, and then you making somebody feel like they're crazy
but
or
we
they're
say that we won't put up with it, but we did. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And that's the biggest thing and that's why I wanted to talk about red flags because, you know, there's two things that I want everyone that ever sees this episode to know. Number one, it is better to come home or go home from a failed relationship than to end up in a coffin.
Oh, every
Never be
day.
ashamed. Never be ashamed. And that's the hardest part when you're in those kinds of relationships is people are so ashamed to walk away or to let it drown because you were hurt and because you've been through so much with that person. Y'all, I mean, there's
Yeah.
only so much one person can take. I have been in relationships where that man went out and got somebody else pregnant and still tried to manipulate me into staying with him. I've been in situations where that person would not allow me to work because they wanted the financial control over me, and those kind of relationships, although it seems cute at first, like, oh, he don't want me to work, he want me to stay home and keep my nails done. That's cute until the first time you say anything wrong and he throws it in your face that you don't contribute to that household.
Yeah. You
It's
ain't got
cute
no sense.
until
You lose yourself.
Right. Yeah, it's cute until, he tells you that you're not allowed to tell him no because he financially takes care of you.
Right, because he's beating down your self esteem.
Yep. Yep. And then it's only a couple months, so he's calling you ugly and cheating on you with other girls and coming home when he wants.
Hmm.
And that's people don't realize that these kinds of situations happen every single day, and there's nothing you can do about it. Some people are just like that.
Right.
Um I'm bouncing back over to watch our live. Um,
And
so
abuse
Daniel's on
and
here and he said the same thing. Lying is his deal breaker.
yeah,
He and that should be honestly, I think that's everybody's deal breaker. Like we're all human. I'm the
we're
most
all
understanding
adults.
person
Like
in the world. You don't have no
I'm
reason
not
to lie
just
to me.
saying. I'm just saying we're all adults here. Why you gotta lie? What you gonna get beat? Like what
Right.
you
I mean, you
afraid?
don't like
Tell the
something,
truth.
say it. It's not a big deal. Like you
I'm gonna
have
put
no
you on
choice but to
punishment.
accept.
Like
Right.
tell me the truth. I'm gonna take
What
your
I'm gonna
cookie
do.
away.
Exactly. And that's really what it comes down to is, we're all adults and I can't force you to do anything you don't want to do. I can't, subject you to anything you don't want to be subjected to, but you got to speak up. There's not a reason to lie to me. You don't have to be
Hmm.
like, oh no, I don't feel well just because you want to go play games with your boys. Say, man, I'm going to play video games with my boys. Cool. Hit me up later.
Right. It's like you want to spend time with your homeboys. Cool. Just tell me. Like I'm not gonna trip. You want to go out? Y'all want to go out have drinks? You know how to act. Like the people. See, that's my thing. It's like you don't. You shouldn't feel like you have to lie to your significant other if you know how to act when you go out in the streets. Like
Right. And if
we
you
all
don't
an
know how to act,
adults.
you don't need to have a significant other.
Right, be single so you can do what the hell you
Yep.
want to do and not in a relationship. If you want to go out to the club and talk to other girls and have more than one friends, or you want to have friends with benefits or sleep around with multiple people,
Then
then
be
that's what you want
single
to. Then be single and do what you want to do. Don't be
and
in a
just be real
relationship
about it and tell
and be
people, hey, I don't want to be
real
in a relationship. I want to,
because I'm gonna
do my
do
thing.
my own thing. And then you find somebody who on the same level as you. But don't be in a
Hmm.
relationship lying and gaslighting and doing all this other stuff, being a whole red flag because you don't want to be an adult.
So, what are other deal breakers in a relationship that aren't? What are some superficial red flags?
What you mean superficial?
So, like, some people will say, oh, I won't date a person who doesn't take care of their hair.
Oh.
Like some people won't date guys with dreads because they feel like dreads, stink over time, but not if you take care of them, they don't. Some people won't. To them, they're red flags. Like I remember growing up, people used to always tell me to not date light skinned dudes because they were all red flags.
Oh, I
Um,
guess a superficial for me would be if you're on crack. I'm the crackheads. I don't deal with that. No. Like if you got them type of problems, I don't want. That's a deal breaker. That's a real big.
I'm not trying to laugh. It was just so out of left field, and I don't know why, but I didn't expect that. I expected you to be like, if you lying about who you stay with or something like that.
Oh yeah. You lying about who you stay with. Like you
But
stay with your mama and say you staying with somebody totally different. Like why are you
listen,
lying
no,
about
I
what you
can
stay
deal with the
with?
mama. I can't
What?
still. I cannot stand the ones that be like, "Nah, I stay, me and my roommate got a place," and it be their baby mama.
Yeah, I had one of those. Who you staying with? My friend. But why? Why are you sneaking?
Right?
Like
Like, well, how come I can't come to your house? Well, my friend don't like me to have company. You mean your girlfriend? Your
no,
girlfriend don't like
yeah,
you to
cause
have
like
company?
no, for real, cause I had one. Let me tell you, I was talking to this dude, right? And like it was like the first time like after like me and my baby father had broke up. So it was like and we was together for like 7 years. So it was like the first time I'm getting back out there and this dude tried to holler and I was like, okay, he's kinda cute. I'm gonna talk to him a little bit. And he was like, come over and see me. He gave me his address or whatever. So I was came in over, but he was like came outside as soon as I pull up, right? So I'll cut the car over and I'm getting ready to get out. He getting in the car. And I'm like, okay. So we talking and stuff, and then it's like we never went in the house. Like, why we ain't got my friend in the house? And he just never wanted me to come in the house. Like every time, and then the second time I came over, like at first I was like, okay, red flag. But I was like, let me see, let that slide. Second time, same thing. We just in the driveway, like we never like get out the car and go in the house. So I was like, why the fuck we can't? I can't go in the house. Like why every time I pull up? Like, we just sitting in the car. Like, what's wrong with your house? What if I got to pee? Like, what? Like, why can't we go in the house? Come to find out, he had a whole girl in the house.
Hmm. See, and that's a deal breaker for me.
Oh yeah,
Not they don't have to have their own house, but if you won't let me come in the house you live in, you're hiding something, and I'm done.
right.
Like
Only
I
time,
like.
only house I went over is when we went over to his home. He was like, one time I came on the uh when they all hit the fan. I went scooped him up. We went to like his home girl house, a homeboy house, one of his friends' house, and that's when I was like, why I could come in this house and can't come in your own house? And
Uh
that's
huh.
what I thought.
That's all. I hate the ones that say, "Yo, pull up to the park."
Why?
Are we
We
gonna have a
kids?
picnic? Like,
Yeah,
I'll
we
come
can
for a
picnic.
picnic, but if I don't get there and you don't got a blanket and the picnic baskets and some sandwiches or something, then dude, I'm not here to watch you play basketball. So you can tell your homeboys you got more than one girlfriend.
Right.
I'm the wrong one. Um, so I just wanted to throw out there that Miss Ingram jumped in our chat. Sorry, Kiva just posted we going to play on the swings. So
Right.
that's right, Kiva. We going to
We're
play on
gonna
some
play on the
swings today.
swings. Dude, we're going to the park. I'm gonna be scoping out somebody else. What you talking about?
Right. Yeah.
What?
Who's driving the best car up here to this park?
Listen, what we not
but
gonna do is play these games.
Miss Ingram, when we were naming out red flags, said that there are always people, the people that are always in a bad mood. She was like, you can only have so many bad days in a row. And that's right.
Right.
That's a big red flag. If they're always aggressive or negative towards you, that's a huge red flag.
You gonna get ghosted because I'm not
Yeah.
gonna put up with that. You ain't gonna rain on my parade every day. Every day I talk to you, you
Ooh,
raining on my parade. No,
you
see when I'm
always
not gonna.
had.
Maybe it's you. And maybe it's not no the other people. Maybe it's you.
Listen, and I used to think that, okay, so y'all know me, y'all been following us. Y'all know I got some anxiety issues. I overthink way too much. I overanalyze everything. So I used to think, dang, man, Amanda, it's you. People don't want to be around you because you overthink things and you get so anxious about it. But then I realized that, like, I was attracted to red flags and attracted to narcissistic behavior. And my brain was just like, no, you see that red flag over there? You can make it a green flag. You can fix them. Y'all, you can't fix them.
No, you can't.
They're not, it's not your job to
To fix
fix
red
a broken
flags.
person. Like, and I don't know if y'all notice, but what happens when you wash something red? Eventually it fades, but it's still red.
It's reddish.
Ro- Reddish flags are probably just as bad.
What about when how someone introduces you?
Oh man, don't even get me started. So listen, and I don't even know if um my significant other remembers this, but and I just heard him laugh in the other room, so he might. Um, but when me and him first got together, and not like first, but we were a couple months in, but he introduced me to someone as his friend, and it was a female. And it was a very
Mhm.
close female of his, like a very close friend of his. And it was nothing like that because I have guy friends too. You know, we've never been those kind of people. You know, you're allowed to have friends. But this was a very close friend of his, but he introduced me as his friend. And I want you to know the entire time we were at his friend's house, I didn't speak to him. And I don't even know if he realized it. But the entire time we were there, I didn't say a word because I was like, oh, I'm your friend.
Right. But you
Cool.
know what? Being from the South, I noticed that people down here call like their girlfriends friends, old ladies. This my old lady, then my friend, all kind of stuff, and other than girlfriend, it's like, bruh, like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, I
I
had that
can't
happen
do
too.
it. Like, I mean,
Well,
after
what do you mean?
that
I'm your
one
friend, like your
time,
friend,
like,
or I'm like your friend? Like, what is like?
mm-mm, mm-mm. That was the one time that I allowed that to happen, and it'll never happen again. I wish he would be like friend, because hi, I'm his girlfriend. We live together. How can I help you?
Mhm.
Yeah, you got the right one. And I just want to throw out there, Kiva said, she jumped on here and said, changing yourself to make them happy or to please them is the biggest red flag for me. I shouldn't have to change to make them comfortable. Like, nope, you take me for who I am. Exactly. Take me for who
Right.
I am or watch me as I leave. Yep. Hands down. I
Mhm.
agree, Kiva.
Exactly. I had been in that boat with my ex too. He had made me feel like I can't do nothing right, and I had to
Hmm.
change. And I tried to change myself to fit the ideal person he wanted me to be, but then I lost myself along the way, and I was just miserable and unhappy because I was trying to be somebody I'm not. So yeah, that was never again. Like I'm me explicitly, as my co-host said, I'm explicit content. So I am me. Take me as I am. You don't like it, find somebody else.
Yeah, because I
I'm gonna
don't
be me.
have life
I don't
is
have the
too
energy to
short
be
for all
somebody
that.
else.
Yes.
Yes, I don't have
And I
the
don't have the
energy to.
energy to be fake either. Like,
Oh
I
God.
try really hard to be a genuine person to everybody that I meet. So when people are around here being fake or just telling you what you want to hear and all those,
Here,
I don't got time for those red flags, man. Like, nah, I'm
right?
good. Just leave
That's
me
why
alone.
stay by myself. Like I ain't got time. That's why my circle's so small because I really ain't got the patience for stuff like that.
Um, so all right, we talked about red flags. We talked about deal breakers.
Mhm.
So, what is your best advice to someone that right now that is currently in a narcissistic relationship or a relationship where they're seeing multiple red flags?
Run,
Now, let me throw this out there. Let's say they've been in that relationship for 2 years.
run. It ain't gonna get no better. If you're not happy and you seeing red flags, open your eyes to the red flags. Take it from a red flag. Don't ignore the red flags
She
because they're
said,
not.
take it from a red flag.
It's not
Kiva
gonna
is
get no
not that
better.
toxic, y'all. She is
No,
not
I'm
that
not. I'm just
toxic.
playing. But just take it from a person who's been in a relationship for 10 years or then lost count, but I know it's been at least 10 years. And ignoring the red flags, dealing with a narcissist is not going trying to think that you can fix or change or you give it some more time, it'll get better. If you just don't give up, it's not going to change. Just having that mentality day in, day out, 2 years going to turn into 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and then you're going to be wasting your life away and you're going to eventually want lose strength or lose focus and you have to gain your strength back to leave. So just if you see the red flags, if you're uncomfortable, if you're not happy, just leave. It's okay. It's okay to throw in the flag. That's why I had to tell myself after years and years of trying to force it to make it work or whatever, ignoring the red flags, saying that it'll be. I can change them to green flags or whatnot. But at the end of the day, you can't change somebody who don't want to change. So you just have to just throw in the towel. And sometimes that's the best thing that can happen to you. That was the best thing that happened to me was to leave.
Whew. At what Okay, so I'm gonna say this because I wanna say this. Sometimes you are the problem. And I don't mean you specifically, Sheena. I'm talking to the world.
Oh yeah,
Um
yeah.
so and I say that
Sometimes.
because there are moments in my life where I was the problem. I was the red flag.
Hmm.
Not in my marriage. Let me go ahead and specify that right now because he ain't never gonna say that I was bad in my marriage. I did everything I was
Oh
supposed to do as a
no.
wife. But
No, you know what? I get that because probably in my current relationship, he probably think I'm a red flag right now because like I'm watching him like you better not.
you
You,
kind of are the red flag in your current relationship. But
yeah,
that's
because
just
like because what we not gonna do is have a repeat of that bullshit. So so
But like
yeah.
when I
Go
first
ahead.
started dating my current relationship, I came with a lot of baggage. Now, mind you, me and my ex-husband had only been separated for like a week and a half when I met my current significant other. And we didn't know where it was going to go. We just wanted someone to talk to. We just wanted someone to
Mhm.
speak to and not be bored out of our mind and living our
Mhm.
lives. So we didn't ever expect it to go where it went. However, I was toxic. Like I would hang up the phone with him and I would yell at him for stuff and I would, how dare you ignore me and I said some toxic things. And but I put my foot down for the first time in my entire life when it came to him. And I said, "Hey, these are ways you will treat me and these are ways you will not treat me. And should you ever make me feel like this, then I'm gone and I won't come back and I don't care." So sometimes things that may come off as red flags are actually boundaries that are being set. And if you're not used to hearing boundaries, then you may think that it's a red flag. Um, the boundaries that I set in the beginning weren't like unrealistic or anything like that, but they were very straightforward. Like, hey, if, and this is, of course, after we started dating, but, if I catch you with another girl that's not family and I haven't heard about her, we're done. If you step out, we're done. There's
Mhm.
certain things that I'm just not willing to put up with ever again in my life. I will never feel like I wasn't good enough for someone again.
Right. I get that.
Um, so with you, when you say like in your current relationship, and when I joked and said yes, you are the red flag in your current relationship, that was a complete joke. And what it was is you came into that relationship from a place of trauma and
Mhm.
drama and pain. And so you had a lot of emotional baggage that you took with you into this new relationship. And in doing so, you had a lot of communication problems. And that was your only red flag. It's not like your red flags were, oh, you out here cheating or you out here doing this, you out no, you just didn't know how to communicate properly because of what you went through for the last several years with your ex-husband.
Right.
So your red flag was not a red flag per se. It was something where if it was addressed in the beginning, maybe it would have changed faster. Your red flag of, you know, being non-communicative when you're mad was not really a
I
red
get it.
flag.
I'm about to say that's probably like the only one is like communication because I like I said, keep it in my head
You fight
until
with yourself. You're
I
the
find
only
yeah.
person I've ever met that does it as hardcore as you do. Like I have an inner monologue, which by the way, did you know, Sheena, and other people are going to attest to this, that not everybody has an inner monologue?
For real.
Yeah,
Like
not
so,
everybody has conversations with themselves in their heads.
so who the
Me and
fuck do
you
they talk
do.
to?
They don't talk in their heads. Their brain just thinks it and they do it. Not everybody does that. And I didn't know that for most of my life. I'm 38 years old and finding out last year that this is a
Nobody
thing.
else have I
It's
was
not
about to
nobody
say
else. It's not nobody else, but a lot of people don't.
Oh, interesting.
And I didn't
Well,
know
I
that people
do.
like that existed. Listen, I do too. I have full conversations with myself in my head prior to my phone call I make
Right.
to anyone because I have to make sure I'm not going to mess up my words.
Oh, sometimes I have to tell that joker to shut up because he be driving me crazy. But yeah, I have a whole
But
person in my head.
it's your voice that you hear in your head, right?
Am I supposed to say yeah? Well, if I say no, would that makes me schizophrenic?
So maybe we'll save that conversation for a future episode. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would love my inner monologue to be somebody else's voice, like Shamar Moore. That would be that would be wonderful.
No, for real. Like, I inquiring minds want to know. Like, okay, so we need to take a poll. Like, everybody who talks to themselves in their head, like, is it in your own voice?
Alexa, is my inner monologue voice supposed to be my own voice?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
She don't know. Alexa says she don't got time for this shit, man. All right, let me ask Google. Hold
No,
on.
I was about to say, let's ask Google then, cause
I'm pretty sure it is supposed to be your own voice, Sheena.
oh,
But
we
I
might have
mean,
some
maybe I'm the
problems.
one. Maybe I'm the one that's not supposed to be hearing my own voice in my head. I don't know. We're about to find out who's right. All right. So it occurs during childhood. The little voice in your head, da da da.
Oh, this one says it's usually their voice.
Yeah, that's
Aha.
so hold on.
Usually, but
What
it
if
doesn't
my
have
inner
to be.
monologue voice is someone else's? Why am I thinking in someone else's voice? Auditory hallucinations. Listen, somebody asked Google, and I can't help but laugh at this. Can other people hear my internal monologue? Like, can they hear me argue with myself in my head? See, and everybody's on here saying, is it true that some people have an inner monologue? Like, I don't know
Oh.
who the people are that don't have one. I really want to talk to somebody that, listen, if you're out there right now and you do not have an inner monologue, like you don't talk to yourself in your head in your own voice,
Voice.
Sheena, um,
Well, mine's is not
then
in my
I need
voice. I'm
y'all
not
to jump in
ashamed.
chat
But
and tell
listen,
me or call in.
right? Somebody else has got to be on my team. Like, I need somebody else that says their inner voice is not their own voice. Somebody got to be on my team. Listen, I was reading
I'm gonna
Google.
ask Google. Hold on. If my inner monologue voice is someone else's, does that mean I'm schizophrenic?
What's it say?
It's saying a lot. Like I gotta find one.
Oh,
Come on, computer. I said computer. I meant Google, y'all. I'm on a phone, a whole phone. All right. So the theory that says that a person that hears a voice when they have actually talked to themselves in inner speech, but for some reason doesn't recognize these thoughts as their own, would consider them schizophrenia. The result typically is that a bit of inner speech that was actually produced by you at some point in life becomes attributed to another person or voice in your head. So the voice that you hear, is it like a deep voice or is it like a scared voice or like a child's voice? What kind of voice is it? Because it
It's
could be a
like,
part of you or a part of your life that played a significant role in how you think. So that could be what you're hearing is just another version of yourself.
oh,
And that would not make you schizophrenic.
I don't think I'm schizophrenic. A little cuckoo, but not schizophrenic.
Um,
No, but it's not like it's not my voice. It's like a dude's voice, but not like a deep voice.
were were you ever considering being a dude?
Maybe a tomboy. I got two brothers.
Maybe you hear your brother's voices in your head. Maybe it's
Bro,
Richard.
that's creepy. Real creepy.
It'd be creepy depending on what you're talking about, honestly.
Nah, but usually this voice comes when like we're debating, like I'm yelling and I'm having a whole conversation with this person, like a whole debate. It's my debate voice, I think, because we're whenever I'm hear this
So are you
different voice,
debating with yourself about someone else or are you debating with yourself about yourself?
both.
Huh, that's really interesting. I just sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to seem like I kind of went away for a second, but I think this is definitely something we should revisit someday. Um,
We're gonna have a
so
whole podcast on my mental stability.
yeah, and I think we should bring your counselor on here because I don't think she's providing the right kind of uh, information. So,
No,
um,
she thinks I'm all good, but I know I'm crazy.
did you tell her she should watch our podcast?
No, maybe I need to.
Jamal said all the above. And I think he was saying that when we were talking about the voices in your head. um,
It could be an extension of probably one of my younger brother.
ah,
I don't know. That kind of makes sense though.
well, I mean,
I don't know. I've been through so much in my 28 years. Who
you
knows what's
almost said it. You almost said it right before that. I caught that. I caught that. So what is the one red flag where like say you're on a first date and
Okay.
you know what? No, tell me your worst first date that had a red flag on it. There we go. That's a good one. Tell me that.
Girl, I don't
Oh, girl, I
other
got
than
one.
well, I wouldn't consider me pulling up to the old boy house a first date. Like a first date, like you going to sit down at a restaurant.
Or just meeting somebody for the first time or whatever.
So what if I ever had a first date that was a red flag? First of all, I don't really date. Like like I don't do that. Um oh, now if you're talking about like I mean, I wouldn't say I don't trust people, so I don't really go out with people that much. Maybe in the future I might try to go outside, but I don't really like outside. So, I don't really go outside. But like I had when I broke up with my ex-husband, well, I divorced his ass, I started going on some dating websites. So I think dating websites is a whole hell of a red flag. I don't know how can you get redder than red? I hate them motherfuckers. Cause the people in there all like they just be in your send you messages like hi dick pic. Like sometimes you don't even get the hi, you just get like dick pic. Then like what you doing tonight? Like I don't know you. Like why that? Yeah. That's a whole red flag. Going on dating websites is a red flag because you don't know what
Dating
you're
in
gonna get. You don't know what you're
dating
gonna
in
get. You
this
don't know.
generation is really hard for people
You don't
like me
know if you're gonna
because
get
I
invited to
can't do that.
coffee, invited to other people's house. You and the people you don't even met. You don't even know who this person is. Come over. You coming over? I don't know who you are, and you inviting me over to your house. I'm gonna come over there and rob you. Like what the hell? The whole
Okay.
dating app is the red dating apps. I'm gonna say because there's multiple apps out there that's red flags. There's one in particular. I'm not gonna call no names because I don't want them.
Tagged.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You said it, not me. She said it, not me. So come after her. But whatever she said it, that is a red flag site. If you're on that site, you should just delete your account because that's a red flag.
For starters, Tagged is a hookup site.
Tell
So
me,
that's why you was just getting random pics in the box. But
man. I had this one guy send me a message and told me he wanted me to take him to the mall while he dressed up in a pink rabbit bunny suit, and he wanted me to walk him around the mall on a leash. And I'm like, what?
I'd have done it for a fee. Yes, sir, I sure will for 150.
What mall? You want me to walk you around on a leash in a bunny suit?
Oh, um,
Yeah.
so
Crazies, red flags.
I don't know if what I'm about to say is a red flag or like a stupidity thing, but I went on a date with someone one time, and y'all, I'm a published author. So um but when I don't always say, hi, I'm a published author. I say things like, yeah, I write books or I have published books. So I went on a date with a guy before. And after we went out to eat, we were going to go to either see a movie or go walk around for a little bit by the water afterwards. And he was like, hey, before we go, I need to stop in and just check on my grandma and make sure she ate and stuff like that. Is that okay with you? And I was like, absolutely. And so we finish eating. We go by his grandma's house. I, of course, walk in. I sit down on her plastic covered furniture. And she looked at me and she was like, tell me something about you that you haven't told my grandson yet. And I said, well, I'm a published writer. No, I said, I have published books. That's what I said. And this dude points at his grandmother's bookshelf and says, my grandma has like 20 of them. And I said, what? Oh, because I said I have two published books. And he points at her bookshelf and goes, my grandma has like 20 of them. And I said, what? And he was like, my grandma has like 20 published books. You only have two? Dude, I'm not talking about like books that you buy at the store and put on your freaking bookshelf. I'm not talking about that right there. I'm talking about books that I wrote.
That I
But I
wrote
didn't even,
myself.
yeah, but I didn't even correct him. I was like, oh, but as I was leaving, his grandmother knew because she looked at me and she was like, it was real nice meeting you, baby. You take care of yourself. She
She knew
knew.
you was
She knew I
done.
was not calling him back. I can't do stupidity, man. Like, I can't do it. There's some level where you got to be like, oh, dang, like, I don't understand what you
Right.
mean. Can you please explain this to me? But no, he was just like I was all wrong. Like I was trying to show up
Right.
his grandma because I got two books.
Right. I
No,
told
I wrote them.
yeah, one of them guys, I'm gonna say I talked to another I was on another dating site called what is it called? I want to say plenty. Well, I don't think it was Plenty of Fish. It was another site. I can't remember the name of it. But this guy was like, I was messaging me, and he was like asking me, to tell me about myself and whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna publish. I published a book, and I got like a degree in, coaching and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, you got beauty and brains. So I'm like, I'm supposed to be stupid. I'm like, he's like, so you're more, you got brains. So he was basically saying like, I got brains, like I'm smart and everything. I was like, so because I'm beautiful, I can't be smart, or all
No, because they
beautiful
believe
people
that.
are stupid? Like, what are you trying to say? So I ain't messaging back because I didn't like. I said, you just say all beautiful people are dumb. Like,
See, and that's, I can tell you that I I grew into my looks throughout my life, if that makes sense. Like I was the
yeah,
ugly kid in
kind of.
high school,
Me too.
and see, so you get it.
I get it.
I was the ugly kid in high school, but I grew into my looks. And then with my brain works in a way where if I'm interested in it, I can know everything about it. But
Mhm.
if I don't care, then I'm very gullible. Like I don't know much about politics, I don't know much about wars, things like that, because it doesn't interest me. I don't want to know about those things. So it just goes
Right.
in one ear and out the other. Um but the hardest part for me is I grew up with a dad that would like tell me things that didn't interest me. And so I'd repeat them, and they were things that he would make up. And so I spent a lot of life with people going, "Man, she's kind of dumb." But it's because my dad would tell me things like sea monkeys were monkeys that swam in the ocean. So that's what I said in the middle of my science class. And that's not true, guys. They're not monkeys that swim in the ocean.
No,
Um
there's water people that swim in the ocean.
if y'all didn't check our podcast this morning, y'all might want to go back and watch that reference, for the water seasoning. So but yeah, so growing up, a lot of people were like, dang, she's not very intelligent. But it's because I was being fed information, and it was absolutely hilarious. And honestly, it made me grow up with a lot of good and dark humor around me, and kind of molded my personality today. However, it made a lot of people think that when I was younger, I was super stupid. But I wasn't. I just wasn't interested. Like I wasn't interested in school because it was
Mhm.
boring. I knew how to do everything. I didn't want to be there. Um,
Yeah. I
so
was I don't know, I was the opposite. School kind of like intrigued me because I guess it was my escape. Um, but so was books. I always was had my head in a book reading.
I didn't mind school. I didn't do people well.
Yeah, that's why I always had a book because I like books more than I like that people still do. But yeah,
That's well, and I can't even really say because I didn't really through high school. I didn't read a lot. I wrote a lot. I wrote a lot during high school, but I
yeah.
didn't read that much. But I definitely like my behavior put me in like a resource class because I was fighting boys. Um, I was that's what I was. I was the girl out on the courtyard fighting the boys. Um, So that's where I was in high school. But, I grew out of that. I stopped fighting the dudes. I I've only like gotten a fist fight with one girl. Um and it wasn't really a fist fight. She just told me to hit her, so I did. Um so I mean that's because I won't be one of those people. I was out fighting boys because boys talk mad trash, man. And I hung out with boys, but they'll say some harsh things to you if you hang out with boys.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah, because you'll be like one of the homies, so they
mhm,
talk to you just like they talk to the homies.
exactly. So as far as red flags, y'all, there's only two things that I really want to make sure that we end and conclude tonight with. And the first one is, you know, once you start to see red flags, if you don't address them immediately, then they're going to continue.
Right. And
You
that person's
know,
gonna think they can get away with it.
right. And if you give someone an ultimatum or you tell someone something and then you go back, like if you say, hey, this is my boundary, do not cross it, or we're done, and then they cross that boundary and you don't end things, then they will keep disrespecting you. If you set a boundary, you got to stick by it. And I know sometimes it's tough because you really like somebody. But if that
Yeah.
person is genuinely interested in you, then
They'll
they will
change.
change and they'll fix it. They'll if you walk away, they will say, "Hey, listen, this is my proof that I'm fixing it, that I've worked on it, that I'm going to do better." But if you set those boundaries and then you just let them walk all over you anyways, nothing will ever change. You'll be stuck in that same situation with the same manipulation for your entire life.
Yeah, ghost them a couple times and they'll change.
Do not follow Sheena's advice. It is coming from a weird male voice in her head. um Don't do it. Don't do it. The inner guy is coming out of Sheena right now, so just don't listen to it.
Yeah, don't be me.
Um,
I'm really a petty person, so but once I get tired
right.
of being petty, then I'll walk away. Like you get like me, arguing with myself about it, then once I get petty, then I'll tell you what the problem is and you have, 2.5 seconds to fix it, then I'm
And
gone.
she means that 2.5 seconds, y'all. She means it.
Yeah,
Because
because you should have figured out
Sheena be
what
done
was
with a
in my head.
relationship 6 months before she actually walk away from it. She just be in her head done. She don't even communicate with him no more. She just be like, "No, I'm done." Mm-mm.
Well, it's their fault they keep calling me because I didn't ghosted you. Why you keep calling me?
And I'm the opposite.
What do you want? Like,
I am a polar opposite of her when it comes to this kind of stuff. But just this
right.
kind of stuff. Because I don't really do petty. I do understanding and I do calm and
No, because I
I
think
will
I
give
think
you
my
every
ex.
option to walk away. Like I can give the perfect example. I used to say to my current significant other all the time, like, "Hey, if this is too much for you, if I'm too much to handle, then if we need to break up, we need to split." Like even when I moved away, I was like, "Listen, I'm moving to Georgia, and that means we're gonna be like 5 hours away from each other, and I understand if you don't want to do this no more. It is what it is." But we stayed together and we made it work until we moved out here. But I'm all about communication and I'm all about understanding and not trying to make you do things you're not willing or wanting to do at the time. Whereas Sheena will give you like one and a half tries and then like ignore you for 6 months and then be like, "Oh, I thought you knew it was done." But it's not really her fault that she's like that. She went through some really traumatic stuff with her ex-husband also.
Right, I was just about to say my ex husband. He was like, I've tried to end it a couple times, and he was like, if I leave him, he was gonna kill himself. I mean, the nigga, excuse me, the
You're not allowed to say
dude,
that even with
he
explicit
did-
content, ma'am.
I know. No, my bad. The dude is still walking around here, so apparently he didn't kill himself. But because of that, every time I wanted to break up with him, that's what he would tell me. If I leave, he was gonna kill himself. So now I ghost you because I ain't got time for that. Like, if I want to leave, I'm gonna just leave. And if I ain't got time to go through back and forth, like I did with him. So I don't know. I adapted to ghosting. I like ghosting because it's easier, less stressful. Like I put my phone on do not disturb. I block you until I'm ready to talk to you. And if I'm not ready to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you no more. Then you stay on my block list until eventually you get the point and leave me alone. I'm really not grown up enough to break up with people.
Which is really sad, Sheena.
It
I just
really
want to say
is.
that
Cause like
you
my
are grown
first
AF. You are grown AF. Like,
girl, listen, my first boyfriend, like I sent one of my friends to break up with him because like I didn't want to break his heart because he was like so into me and I was like not into him. So I was like, can you go
why did
tell
you
him?
start dating him then?
Because like he was like one of my friend's cousins and she was like, she really likes you, just give him a try, just give me a try. So I was like, okay, out of pity. Like I was like, well, I don't really like him. But he was like, he really likes you. Just talk to him, just talk to him. So I started talking to him. Then he got really I want to say possessive, like aggressive, or like he was just like hovering, like he didn't give me no space. So I was like, after like a week, I was like, then like my mama found out that I dated a boyfriend and she flipped. So and then he was like right there when I got off the bus to go to school. He was like right there. Like when I got home to get on the bus, he was like right there. He was when I came out of class, he was like right there to walk me to my next class. It was like, bruh, can I go to the bathroom? Are you gonna wipe my ass for me or what? So after about like a week, I was like, I don't know if we lasted 2 weeks, but anyway, I broke up with him. But I couldn't break up with him because like he was like too into me, too nice. So I was like, hey girl, go over there. Tell him that I don't want to talk to him no more. It's over. It's done. She was like, and she was one of those like really loud girls, like, that wasn't scared to say nothing to nobody. So she was like, bet, girl, I'll do it. So she did it. I went to my last block. We was in high school when my last block when after the bell rang followed by I was trying to make a beeline to the doggone bus because I was like I knew she told him, but he was right there at the bus when I went to go home. I ran past him, got on the bus. He was calling me, he was following me like for a couple of days until he got the point. So that's how I know ghosting works because like I tried to ghost him
Listen,
the
ghosting is
whole
not
next week and he was just want to know
that is
why.
not good for your mental health, ma'am.
Okay, we didn't
It's
say it was
not because
good. I just say
listen,
it
I've
works.
never been that person. The only time I've ever had a problem ending a relationship or walking away from a relationship was with my ex-husband, and that's because I was raised in a lifestyle where, you protect your marriage at all costs and you do whatever it takes to make it work. And that's what I thought I was doing. However, I just looked like an idiot because I was the only one doing it in my marriage.
Right.
So he's the only one that ever like was just like, no, da da da, this isn't gonna work. I'm out. And he didn't even do it like that. Like I told you, he came back because he gave me a 2 week notice. Like,
He gave you 2 weeks.
so
I'm breaking up with you in 2 weeks.
pretty much, I mean, he was like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And he left and then he came back. And I was like, oh, are we working things out? And he was like, yeah, but I don't want to be married to a white woman. Oh,
Well, you only get 2 ways. You're gonna either get me. I'm either gonna ghost you, or I'm gonna give you an ultimatum. And if you don't follow through with your ultimatum, then one day I'm gonna be like, I'm done. It's over with, and I'm gonna walk out, and I'm never gonna call you again. But I'm gonna tell
mm-hmm.
you to your face that listen, I can't do this no more. It's over with, and I'm done, and I'm gonna walk away. And I'm gonna change my number. If I don't change my number, I'm just gonna look at you calling me, or you're gonna be on that block list.
Listen, that first boy that you dumped the way you dumped him, he started your trend of being the toxic individual. He created that, man. For some reason, ghosting him for you made you a red flag. Sheena, you a red flag.
Oh, I got my red shirt on.
I
I
got
am
on
a
my
red
white shirt.
flag.
I'm
I
I'm
am a
I'm
red
I'm a
flag.
surrenderer. Surrender. And
Oh
she's a
my
red flag.
god, I'm a red flag. I don't communicate. I got voices in my head. I ghost people. Now my boyfriend gonna break up with me. I'm a
No,
red
he's not.
flag. Saying no, he's not. Really, he's not.
You see that? That was her crazy look, and that's why he won't break up with her. I'm just kidding. No, she's doing much better as a human, y'all. As
Yeah.
as a human. She's not a water people. She's a people. I'm
Y'all
trying to
better
be a
leave them
water
water
people.
people. You better leave them water people alone. I'm trying to tell you.
Li- It's really
Don't be
see,
a
and
water people.
if you don't know what we're referring to, then you should be watching our morning podcast, Coffee with the Maries, on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. because you would know exactly what we're referring to when we talk about water people right now. Because it's serious to Sheena. It's not as serious to me because I'm trying to be a water people. I mean, not a water people. I don't want to die in the water, but I want to go in the water and find the people.
No. See,
So
listen, for all y'all water people, I mean all y'all people who want to go explore with the water people, I'm gonna make y'all some t-shirts. Y'all face is gonna be on the t-shirt, and we gonna remember y'all and celebrate y'all life
it's
because
supposed
y'all
to say
face.
RIW instead of
Hmm.
RIP. It's going to say rest in water.
Rest in water. They are now some seasoning. Y'all are gonna be some seasoning for them for them animals down there in the water. Messing around with them water people. Go down there with the water people. See, you better get me started again. Don't get me started again on the
Y'all,
water
and if y'all
people.
don't know, she's talking about Amelia Earhart.
Yes, you don't get me started on. I'm still in my feelings about that story. Like I'm still in my feelings. I'm really in my feelings.
Y'all really
Y'all
got to go
need
back
to.
and watch Yin Yang's
I mean, yeah,
sponsored
coffee with
podcast
them.
for current
Yeah,
events. Yep, is Coffee with the Maries this morning because she was on a rant, y'all. She was, and it was so real. It was so funny. Um, But y'all, we are out of time tonight, but we will see y'all next Saturday morning for Coffee with the Maries. And keep up on our page this week. See what we got going on next week. We look forward to seeing y'all then. Two people,
Two opinions. Real
real
talk.
talk. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.